go. You know what I mean? Like fully on, but it's so far from the truth. Like there's so many times that I'll just like be shirtless playing video games. And I'm sure you have something like.
Oh yeah. Absolutely. I mean, if the idea that we're kind of unpacking here is the fact that it's like, oh, like entrepreneurship is grind 24/7 because you're never off the clock, and it's like, oh yeah, I work 20 or 25 hours a day, 8 days a week. That's just not the thing, right? Is it something where we're always thinking about work and every like aspect of our lives kind of revolves around it? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, like I am, for lack of a better term, I'm a startup addict. I mean, I can't if I see a cool opportunity or like something that I think has some real potential. Yeah. More often than not, I can't help myself. I mean, that's how I ended up here. But I mean, on some level, I feel like that's kind of the thing that every entrepreneur has, because in order to be successful, I don't think you can have anything but that.
Right. Know? Yeah. Do you think so? And I don't want to talk about e-com a lot because I think you have a lot to offer. But do you think
I can't offer anything in e-com? So
right. It's not like you're on a huge brand.
Okay, let's talk about that for a second though, because so a lot of whenever I've been popping into your lives and everyone knows me as Ride Clutch Tony, what I don't want a lot of people thinking is like, oh, he runs the whole show. I mean, I run very, very little. Well, I don't run the marketing side. Obviously, we have a CMO. His name's Ride Clutch Zach. He's incredible at what he does. People have any real questions, that's who you go ask. Zach, but I mean, go ask Zach. But the other piece of that is we're so busy trying to scale what we've got to the moon and back that like every waking minute, every waking hour of our day is revolving around something, whether or not it's trying to figure out where we're going next or what the next move is or putting out fires. I mean, we're really what we are is we're just digital firefighters. That's really what we are.
I think I gave the example of somebody asked me, is like, what is it like to run an online business? And I was like, just imagine trying to put out a fire that always like catches, like as soon as you're done putting out this one, you're going to go work on the next one. And then this one's going to be reignited. And then like, as soon as you're done with that one, something like the roof is on fire. You know what I mean? Like that's all you do is you just literally constantly solve problems. So it's not for everybody for sure. But the question I wanted to ask you really quickly, and then we can talk about Ride Clutch just briefly, but the question I wanted to ask you was, so you said you have all these ideas, all these startup ideas. Okay, so do you think that you like, that's just how you are? Or do you think that you've had some ventures like that? Or maybe let's go back in time, like when you were really young. Is that what you saw? Is that what you were around a lot? And so that's what you knew? And like maybe like you started up your first little project and it went successful, so you built some confidence, right? Because for example, like I remember when you bought your stake in this brand, right? We were still friends back then. We were friends before that. And you know, it wasn't doing as well as it is now, obviously. Right. So I was naturally, I had my own question, and I was like, okay, well, I'm genuinely curious to see what Tony does with it. And now it's had explosive growth. So it's like, this has to give you confidence. And like these numbers that you're doing now, which we won't disclose, but these numbers are obviously large, and this will give you confidence to go a little bit higher, to get maybe like, you know, to push 7 figures per month or whatever the goal is for you guys, you know, multi 7-figure, whatever. Do you think that the confidence is built up over time, little by little, or do you think that you're kind of just like born with it?
On some level, I think it's a little bit of both. To give you my answer, it's definitely based on experience. I mean, I don't have an entrepreneurial background. I mean, I like from the standpoint of my parents were very, very textbook employees. I mean, my dad graduated from college, and the exact amount of time you're supposed to graduate in, he got a job right out of college, and he retired from the same company at like 55.
That's like super textbook.
Super textbook. And then my mom did more or less the same thing. I mean, she worked for a company out of college, worked there until she retired. I mean, if you want to hear the stereotypical like half Asian story, I thought I was going to be a doctor from the time I was like 12. I mean, I'm not even kidding. That's literally what I was telling everyone from like as early as I can remember. And then that didn't change until I was, in college, and I realized, oh shit, school sucks. I don't want to do this for 16 years.
So what was the bridge then to entrepreneurship? What happened?
The bridge was a really, really dark place. I mean, it was. Oh yeah. I mean, when I was in college, this is when I was playing college baseball as well. Or I was trying to recover to be able to play college baseball. I was injured, trying to figure out what I was going to do about school, because that, like, your entire life you've built up this like expectation that you're going to be like, I've got plans. I know exactly what I'm going to do. My entire life I've known exactly what I'm going to do, or at least I thought I knew what I was going to do. And then everything changes over the course of like 3 months, and you're like, whoa. And we all get lost with something like that, right? Or that's something that a lot of people can get lost with.
Just changes your whole life.
Yeah, where it's like in a moment, everything changes, and everything that you've known, everything that you've thought about how your life is going to be, it all changes like that. And that was something where it was months of not knowing what to do, and eventually what that ended up, where I ended up, was a job at Foot Locker, and as assistant store manager at just a little dinky store out in my hometown. And when I realized that working for $10 an hour and making like fucking 1% commission on everything, which for most retail associates, everyone knows what that is. It's nothing. I mean, it doesn't even show up on your taxes at that point, right? And then you end up seeing a friend, or you end up flipping a shoe yourself, and for $100, let's say, so like high-end reselling stuff, right? Like Jordan, Supreme, Yeezys, that kind of thing. That was where like my first real taste of like, oh shit, working for an hourly wage kind of sucks. Because it's like when you've like, I know you've got a story like this, and I'm sure everyone listening knows what that is, but like everyone has that. Every entrepreneur has that one moment where you go, whoa, whoa, I don't have to work for an hourly wage, and like this is a real option. Yeah, like this exists. That's crazy.
Yeah, you have to believe it's real, because at first it sounds like a fantasy.
Or it sounds like something that like it
doesn't happen.
Yeah, it just doesn't happen.
Yeah, like your parents will be like, yeah, you just don't do that. It's not safe. You know what I mean? But like, if you think about it logically, let's say if you're selling anything, a product, and if you make $10 every time you sell a product, now with online, like you can, the only what is the word I'm trying to say? It's like you can get your product out. You can in a matter of 10 minutes, you have the ability to get it out to 2 billion people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The only thing standing between that is a budget, but slowly you can get your product in front of 2 billion people without ever talking to them. So that's crazy. So
what a time to be alive.
I know. So literally, bro. So that's what we've gone and done, huh?
Dude, with all this coronavirus like craziness, and like just the world being on fire and in flames, what a crazy time to be in to be online.
We were talking, not us, but I was talking with someone else the other day, and I was like, a lot of the kids now that are like younger, like have to wear masks. Like it's normal for them. And who knows how much longer it's going to be. Maybe another 6 months, maybe another 12 months, hopefully sooner. But it'll be interesting to see like those kids that grow up and they're like, because this has never happened to me before. This is all new.
This is everyone.
Movie. This is movie.
Oh yeah. I mean, I don't know how many times we said this. This is straight out of, every month is straight out of a movie in 2020. It's insane. You
can't even like make this shit up, but it's going to be interesting to see like, oh yeah, like when I was 8 years old, I had to wear a mask everywhere I went for 2 years. I'm like, yeah, that's kind of crazy.
Yeah, no, seriously. And I'm really interested to see, because, I'm fucking addicted to business. I'm really interested to see what kinds of things are going to be born and bred out of this, because this is a moment where like everyone that's been alive has never seen anything like this before, in this atmosphere where there's so much potential to do so many things. There's so many people who are experiencing so many of the same problems. There's so many people who are have a need, not like a want. There's so much need in like the marketplace in the world right now that someone who really has the ability to go out and get things done and knows and like really has a good, strong vision. There's so much potential out there right now. It's unbelievable.
Yeah. You want to move a little closer?
Yeah, I just realized that.
The mics are super quiet. They're like, I don't know, they pick up so little. But yeah. Okay, so you want to talk about your business a little bit?
Sure. What do you want? What do you want to know about Ride Clutch?
So you are a partial owner in Ride Clutch.
Yes.
Okay. How's it doing? Good.
It's doing all right.
What are you guys giving away right
now? Right now, we are giving away an H2 and $10,000 cash, and it is just the most insane bike we've ever given away. The thing is just it's the fastest. It's the fastest thing it's the fastest thing around. It's insane. It is so cool, and it's the coolest bike we've ever given away.
Okay, so how do people win?
The way you get entered to win is every dollar you spend on the website is one entry in the giveaway. We sell motorcycle apparel and merchandise and some motorcycle accessories. And yeah, I believe this one ends early September. So being that I'm one of the owners, I should probably have the exact ending date, but I don't.
That's okay.
Yeah, right now we're running a promo where every order gets a prize with it. So.
Oh, okay.
Pretty cool.
That's cool. What's the domain name in case anybody's watching?
Rideclutch.com.
Okay.
Yep.
So go to rideclutch.com. Every dollar you spend is an entry.
There
Hopefully
you go.
I make you some money. The podcast only has like 300 subs right now. So.
Oh, it's all good. It's all good. Get you an affiliate link for it.
Oh, really? Okay. I'm going to make some money now.
There you go.
That's crazy. So, okay. So, Tony, you're just a little bit older than me. Okay.
Yes.
I'm not going to like disclose your age or whatever. I know your birthday's coming up soon. You're like, shit, don't remind me.
Yeah.
So what were you doing like when you were 18? You know what I'm saying? Like what was happening then? What were you thinking about? And the reason I'm asking is because, and we could start talking about other things after this, but I think that, so most of my channel, I'm assuming most of my podcast subscribers are going to be between 18 to 24. Okay. So you're a little bit, just a tiny bit older than 24. So like, and they always ask me, what should I be doing? So do you think there's like some particular advice that is like universally good for everybody that's 18? Like, okay, anyone that's 18 should do this.
Yeah, I do.
What's your opinion on that?
So my opinion on anyone who's between, I'm going to say 18 and 20, because not everyone's 18 when they get started. Like, first off, I want to say anyone who's getting started at anything younger than 20 in the entrepreneurial world, you are so much further ahead than everyone else that hasn't even started. I mean, like age, I really don't want people to think that age has any real bearing on your ability to succeed this day and age. It just happens to be that there's a lot of young kids that are just doing incredible things, but that's because of where they're focusing their attention, right? They live and breathe everything digital, and a lot of people who are older, just by the way things work, they don't, right? I mean, I'm on the older side of what I would consider like our generation, even though I'm old enough, I don't think we're in the same generation.
I don't think so.
Yeah, but I mean, you know this, and probably a lot of people do. I pay very little attention, relatively speaking, to like my social media. I should take it much more seriously, but I don't.
Yeah.
But kids, it's if you're 18 to 20 years old and you're just starting out, the best advice I can give you is figure out where the cross section is of what you're good at and what you really like doing. Because starting out, you have to be able to have both. If you only do things that you are good at but you absolutely hate, then you're not going to want to keep doing them for very long, or you're going to end up resenting whatever that skill is, and it's a horrible thing to end up resenting one of your best skills. But at the same time, it's if you found something that you're really passionate about but you suck at it, well, then if it's taking up a lot of your, if it's capital intensive, right? As for example, like if you're drop shipping or something like that, where there could potentially be an upfront cost or something. I don't know. But the best thing to do is figure out what you're good at and what you like doing. That's the first place to start, because my experience has told me that becoming very, very good at a very specific skill set and mastering that skill set is how you can succeed. I feel like that's probably something that you'd agree with, but mastering something, becoming incredible at something, and becoming the best that you possibly can at something is going to be something that you can generate a lot of value with. Yeah.
I would love to say that I do. I am like that, but I'm not. I'm chaos, bro.
Chaos from a guy with a fat ass YouTube channel.
There's not one thing that I'm exceptionally good at. I just try to be like better than average at everything. Does that make sense? Like in any, like making music, I just want to be better than the average person. Just like, I don't know. But I deeply envy the people that are very good at one thing. But for me, it's like I have this huge issue where it's like I always think the grass is greener on other sides. So I want to try everything. You know what I'm saying? So, and that could be like a blessing and a curse in a way. But in my opinion, I think it would be better to master one thing.
I would say you're being a little modest with your own skill set here, because that's, if you have the ability to make things happen, because that's kind of another thing, right? Is there's like good things happen to those that can make things happen.
Yeah.
If you're just someone who's got good ideas, but you can never like,
You always make like fucking excuses or something.
something always happens and things don't happen.
You find a
You know?
reason to not do it.
Things find ways of not happening, which more often than not is like it's an actualization thing, right?
Right.
But it's having the ability to get things done just gives you so much more of an edge, which is why like you have the ability to get things done. So you don't have to be the absolute best at something because you have the ability to get things to market. You've got this nice ability to get things to market and be really good at it. That's a benefit that you have that I don't think you give yourself enough credit for.
You're probably right.
But I feel like that's a key thing to bring up because that way a lot of other people who may not be as gifted don't try and dip their fingers in absolutely everything. Because for most people, because I consider myself to be this way, becoming very, very good at one or two things can generally spur you to an area where you can create enough success to be happy.
Got you. All right, that's cool. I like that. That's interesting. I wanna show them. Hold on. So let's look at Ride Clutch really quick.
Okay. Ride Clutch scam, the first thing the second thing that comes up.
Right.
We have a lot. Oh my goodness, we have so many fake accounts out there right now.
Dude, I've been getting ever since you guys followed me back on Ride Clutch, I've gotten like 5 or 6 pages just Ride Clutch.
Yeah. Oh, dude, it's every day. We're at this point.
annoying.
At this point we're big enough where there's almost a new fake account that comes out. Like it feels like every day at this point. But yeah.
So this is your
yeah.
your
By the
current bike.
way, yeah. Oh yeah. By the way, that's our current bike. This is also a mobile optimized website. So for those of you looking at this going like, oh, your website doesn't look good on desktop. Yeah.
Hold on.
Go look at it on your phone.
Let's see. Oh wow.
Yeah.
It looks nice now. I mean, it looked nice before, but I think the picture's full now. There you go.
Yeah. And to win this Ninja H2 and $10,000 cash.
That is a nice bike.
Oh, dude, it's so fast.
Okay.
It's so fast. We've got some really cool stuff coming out on our YouTube, though we're actually like reviewing the bike. It's insane.
Ooh, fancy.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna pop this back up. All right, Tony. So I have a question for you.
What's your question?
I know, maybe I shouldn't be saying this, but I know back in the day, we used to play video games.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Late night.
Are you doing any of those these days? What do you do to relax?
What do I do to relax? Well, so I'm also kind of going through this thing where I'm starting to kind of like my interests are changing again. So like, because my lifestyle on a day-to-day basis is pretty hectic and chaotic. Because so to give you an idea here, we've seen some serious growth over 2020. So 2020, Jan 1 is when we really changed everything, and that was something where we had to be just incredibly flexible and able to change and move and pivot like literally over the course of like days, right? And now what that looks like is it's hectic at all times, and we're always trying to problem solve and brainstorm and figure out what's going on, kind of like what you're talking about before, where we're always perpetually firefighting. I used to really enjoy just to like not going out and partying, but like going out and doing things, and I guess a lot of people are like, oh, there's nothing to do in Arizona. I think Arizona's got a ton of stuff to do.
There's a lot, yeah.
There's a ton of stuff to do.
It's just too hot.
Right now it sucks. It's like 115 degrees outside. I'm fucking getting sick from the heat. It's horrible.
Yeah. The winter's almost here though. If you go outside at the night, it's like starting to cool down just a little bit.
Yeah, it's nice.
It'll be nice.
But dude, I like just hanging out, enjoying enjoying time with my friends and people. For me, it's about who and how I spend my time now, which is like sounds super cliche. And I was always like, oh no, that's not gonna be me. But now I'm like, I really just care about like it isn't so much about what I'm doing. It's like who I spend my time with. So it's like for me, it's like I want to make sure I'm being able to spend time with my girlfriend and spend time with my friends and my partners, and make sure I'm getting to spend time with like people I used to see all the time that I don't see anymore. And so yeah. So
are you guys gonna move back up here to Scottsdale? Because I remember you were showing me that house, but is that happening or no?
We're trying to. So it's just there's just so many other on the priority list. It's just not the top fire right now. I'm trying to put that out.
So what happens when your lease is over? Are you just gonna go month to month until you?
Yeah, probably.
Until you get less busy.
Yeah, I mean we got another like 6 months on it, so
A lot of other problems before that.
Yeah, you know the drill. So yeah, man.
I'd like to see you come back up here though.
Yeah, dude, I know. I need to get closer back up here where we can actually like hang out again pretty consistently.
I got to show you one of these Rocket League shots I hit last night.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, bet. Let's see.
Hold on. Okay, it's gonna pop up.
This is gonna be the greatest podcast ever. We're just vibing and watching Rocket League clips. This is great.
Dude, this is how you're supposed to do it.
I feel like it is, isn't it? I feel like it is.
My gamer tag is Dropify Slip Shop. I think everybody watching will appreciate that.
Right.
So, check this out, dude.
Dude, this was vibing.
This brings back some memories.
Huh? Oh yeah.
Watch that. Hold on. All right, no, this is the whole thing. Okay, hold on. Where is it? Might be. Let me just get the score.
You're
good. Okay. Watch this, bro.
Ooh.
I like stood up right away because I was like insane.
Oh, solid. Oh, yeah, that's on purpose.
I was totally on accident, bro. I was like, holy crap! I did not believe that I just hit that.
That's sick. Oh my god, dude! So much Rocket League happened back in the day.
Oh, I know.
That was fun.
Good old times.
Right?
Do you ever miss that house?
I do. I kind of sometimes I miss the proximity to everything because it's like being out where I live now. We're just so far out from everything, right?
But it's good because you don't have distractions.
Yes. I mean, as much as we're working right now, I mean, I would, which is funny because I know earlier I said it's like, oh yeah, no, it's not work 24/7, blah, 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 but like.
Well, I mean, you can't work 24/7, but you need time to like settle down.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
like you need
unwind.
Yeah, exactly. You're gonna have times throughout the day where it's like you're working and unwind, or you're working and unwinding and working and unwinding and working and unwinding, and it's called workflow, right? So like, I don't know. I would love to come back to Scottsdale, but realistically, I mean, as hard as we're running right now, trying to grow this thing as fast and safely as we can, I don't think we have time.
Damn, bro. It's good though. Good promise.
Yeah.
I was gonna ask. So your car, your Porsche, you have a Porsche 911 Turbo, nice one. Are you looking to get something new anytime soon?
I mean, maybe. It's full disclosure. That's something that I had. That's not something that I've got since I've had Ride Clutch. It's something that was something I bought in one of my first ventures. Did well enough to afford me some fun toys and that kind of thing. I don't know. Maybe. Probably.
What's like your dream
car?
Like the one that you're like, all right, one day.
I mean, my one day thing is a 918 Spider, right? I mean, I feel like for most Porsche people, that's the supercar. Wow, that's like, if everything goes well, you know, you sell a company for $10-15 million but plus that's the dream car.
918 Spider. I don't even think I know that one. What's the 918? So Spider's convertible.
Yes,
but
918.
It's
a hybrid electric. It's a hybrid electric supercar.
Oh, but it's a Porsche.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it's a Porsche.
How much are they?
I haven't really stayed up to date, but I think they might be somewhere between like spec specific, but like 1.3 to like it's not a $100,000 car anymore. I want to say that I think they retailed at like $700 or $800 or something like that.
Is this an old car?
No, it's new.
So wait, you said it's not $100,000 anymore?
No, it was like I want to say it retailed for like $700 or $800 or something like that.
But it's gone up in value.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I want to say it's like, and I could be wrong. Someone's gonna catch me on this with a fact check, but it's like 1.2 to like 1.8, depending on like miles and that year and that kind of thing.
That's a pretty expensive car.
It's a very expensive car.
You know, like the average American makes like $2 million in their lifetime.
Dang.
You're driving your entire life's work.
Well, I'm not driving that now. You know, I'd like to. Yeah, one day.
That's kind of crazy to think about, huh? It sounds super douchey when you say it like that, but there's people that drive $1 million cars.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay. So I guess there's another piece to that, right? Is the idea that success comes off of being, or off the back of like being a bad person or stepping on people. It really doesn't have to. Success is something that you have the ability to build and grow with people along the line, and that doesn't mean that doesn't happen, because unfortunately that does from time to time. But like, success is definitely one of those things that it's so much better if you do it with a group of people as opposed to standing on others.
Yeah, that's true. And you can, oftentimes you'll succeed much more if you help people.
Yes.
If you really help people.
Yes.
And I'll probably bring Elon Musk up in every podcast. So I'm just going to do it now. It's my little man crush.
I love it.
But
I mean,
he's a perfect example.
oh yeah.
Because like
Oh,
with,
yeah.
with electric, you can't lose by buying an electric car. You know, he said that they're going to go up in value. I almost want to buy a Tesla just because he said that. But like it's fast. So you have that market. People want performance cars. It's modern. Okay. The whole market, the entire world is shifting to modern, right? It's for some reason people want to feel like less emotion now than they did before. I don't know what it is. Anyway, but it's fast. It's modern. It's super clean. It feels luxurious, which is another thing that people are shifting to. And then on top of that, it's even it's good for the environment. So like you're really capturing like so many people here, like a lot. And it's beautiful car.
It is.
So it's so it's helping people. It's helping a lot of people. It's helping the planet. I think somebody brought to my attention that it's like to destroy these batteries when the Teslas go bad. It's like really bad for the environment.
I imagine.
Almost as bad as if you were to just buy a car, or maybe worse if you were to just buy a car and just drive it and like deposit all of those gases into the atmosphere. That's how hard it is to destroy the battery. But I don't know the facts. We could look it up, but I don't know the facts. But the thing with Teslas is like they have like a million miles, right? Like a warranty. It takes them up to 1 million miles.
Never bought one. Couldn't tell you.
Yeah. Well, apparently they do because
That's cool.
There's such a low amount of parts to the car compared to a regular car. There's so much less going on. It's just like battery, torque, no transmission, no engine. So, you can imagine all these gears and all these things that could
it's
go
not
wrong.
an internal combustion engine where there's thousands of things that can go wrong.
So they can confidently like say, oh yeah, it'll get you to 1 million miles. And you're just like, what the fuck? Like, what do you mean it'll get me? Well, there's no engine. Like, it's just a battery. You can replace it. So just tires, battery, don't crash it, and it'll go for a while. I mean, it'll go until the fucking axles break on the tires, I guess, or on the wheels. Which
Right.
I don't know, but I'm sure they build their cars incredibly. But
Oh yeah, dude, Teslas are supposed to be some of the safest cars on the road, I think.
I think they are.
Yeah.
Elon said that it would be like, he said that one day driving an internal combustion engine will be like riding a horse.
Yeah.
When they came out.
Oh, I mean, think about it. I mean, like internal combustion engines, like right now, okay. I don't know how much like big picture we want to get here, but I mean, internal combustion, we both agree on this. Internal combustion is something that's going to become a luxury and an experience-based thing more than it's going to become a practicality for sure.
People still have horses.
Yeah,
They
absolutely.
love riding them.
People love. Look at the Kentucky Derby. One of the most affluent events that we have is based off of horse racing.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's not like we're going to use them to get places, but
No.
there's still something to be appreciated.
exactly. I mean, the same way I love watching everything motorsport related. I mean, like F1. That's my shit. I love
Really?
watching that. Oh, dude, I love watching F1 racing, dude. Like that's you want to talk about what my dream occupation would have been. My dream occupation would have been Lewis Hamilton. To be Lewis Hamilton, the best F1 driver in the world.
That's insane.
That-
It's funny that you say that though, because recently I've actually been entertaining the idea of like starting to race.
Oh,
like
dude,
on a
you
track.
should.
Yeah.
Dude, you should. It's the most exhilarating experience you're ever gonna have behind the seat of a car.
Good, I am too. This is fun.
So I raced a Huracan and a 458.
When was this?
A year and a half ago.
How was it?
The first time I went around the lap, I was annoyed because people were going too slow.
Right.
The second time I asked them to let me go first, they did, and I was keeping up with the pacer in front.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, but I could have passed them, but I was not going to. So, and I've always really liked to drive. Obviously, I have my GTR, and it's like, dude, there's something about cars and driving them. It's like I think I have a talent when it comes to that. I will acknowledge this. This is
There
the
you
only
go.
credit you'll ever see ever see
So
me
you give yourself- yeah.
So I was entertaining that idea. I was like, I really like racing. It's super exhilarating, which I need. I was like, maybe I should try racing. Maybe I should try like tracking. I think I could be good at it.
Dude, I think you have a blast with it.
Yeah.
I think you have a blast.
So what was your experience? Because you said it's like super fun.
Oh,
What have you
yeah.
done?
I mean, it was autocross. It was one of those little Groupon experiences where you take like 3 laps around like a little autocross track and like some parking lot. And this was probably 4 or 5 years ago, longer now that I think about it. And it was some older Ferraris and Lamborghinis. It was an old business partner of mine. He took a Ferrari F430. I took the Gallardo, and we took my car around or to the track too.
Really?
And dude, I got to take my car around the track, which for the record, I was faster in my car than I was the Gallardo.
Yeah.
But dude, that was. I have never done something where I wanted to not. I didn't want to stop. I wanted to do that until the wheels fell off of my car. I mean, I was like, I will drive around this little 1/10 of a mile track all day.
Yeah. Dude, have you seen the movie Ford vs. Ferrari?
No, I haven't.
You should seriously go watch that movie this week.
Is it on Netflix or?
It's not on Netflix. I don't think so. It just came out. It's on Vudu. I don't know if you know what Vudu is.
I do. I do know what Vudu is.
So if you go to Vudu, you can rent it for like $5. But it's a great movie. It gave me goosebumps.
I'm gonna check it out.
Yeah,
I love everything motorsport. It'd be fun.
Dude, I'm gonna start racing.
Dude,
just because of this.
Dude, when you go first time you go track, right? Or you go to a track, I need to come with you. I want to watch.
Okay, let's go.
Yeah, bet.
I wanted to take my car, but I'm afraid, dude. I'm afraid.
Well, I mean, given that
I'm gonna go hard. I don't want to do that.
Oh, maybe we got some plans. Maybe we got some plans for that thing, and you kind of need to take it easy on that thing.
Are we gonna talk about this? Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
I'm gonna leave it in the garage.
There
for
you
now.
go.
I'm gonna make sure the paint doesn't get scratched up.
Yeah, there you go. Shh.
Hey, just in case you guys, we'll see.
Yeah.
If you guys like my car, stay tuned. Follow me and Tony on Instagram or something. I don't know.
Right. Well, follow him because you won't get shit from my profile. So.
Just pay close attention.
Yeah.
Dude, I mean, let's not talk about that because it's like a potential business thing. Yeah. But I am really excited for the record since we haven't talked about it yet. I'm super down. That sounds insane.
Mm-hmm. We've been talking about it. We've been talking about it. We need to continue talking about it.
Oh, really? It's like that.
It's like that.
I'm blushing now. I'm going to...
Yeah.
You're turning me on.
Oh, it's going to be fun, dude. It's going to be fun.
Dude, we need to do it before I get off YouTube. For sure.
Yes. Whoa. What are you saying here with that? Whoa.
Hey, Jamie, cut that out. Cut that out, Jamie. I have plans to get off YouTube.
Really?
Yeah. So
I know you've talked about it for a while.
Yeah, just very, very briefly. Not on Instagram, not on YouTube.
Yeah, no,
only on my podcast.
Yeah. Well, I know we've talked about it like once or twice late night, which obviously if this ends up getting cut, cool. But
it won't.
Yeah. Well, okay. Then what? I'll leave it alone.
Yeah, but I would love to continue the podcast.
Oh, dude, this is cool. 2, you're good at interviewing people. 3, I like it. You've built yourself a person that like you've built a persona of you for YouTube where people like watching you. You know?
Yeah.
And it's like you interview really interesting people. I don't consider myself that interesting.
You are one of them.
Your last one was pretty cool. Jared Goetz.
Yeah, Jared Goetz.
Yeah. He was a really cool dude.
Yeah.
He was a really cool dude.
Fortunately, because of YouTube, I've been able to make some pretty cool friends. So I'm going to take advantage of that and just talk to them.
Absolutely.
But honestly, these podcasts, like I would listen to them because when we're talking, it's like, yeah, we're having a conversation, but we're always like thinking about, what we're saying and this and that. But when you actually go back and watch a podcast, it's like, it's actually really interesting. It's very easy to watch. Even if it's just like a conversation between me and someone else, it's super easy to watch. So these are like half for myself, just to have like a library.
Yeah, no,
for when
I
I'm
get
older. You know what I'm saying?
Dude, it's funny. Yes, I totally get it. So this kind of comes back to the thing where we're talking about like what kind of things what I like to do with my time / unwind is like thinking about memories and thinking about holding on to memories is unfortunately something that you have to lose some / have some issues to really appreciate those. So let me give some context here, right? So, this, we've had this talk. I started out in senior care, adult health care.
Yeah.
So, I started out with an adult family home. We expanded that to 2. That was where I got my first start. And mind you, this is when I was in my early 20s. So like your age right now, I'm running an adult family home, and everything that includes. I mean, it's not an assisted living facility where it's like, oh yeah, I've got 90 beds and I'm in charge of the whole thing. It was, we had like adult family home, so it was a 6-bed max, and that was, I mean, you end up with some experiences in senior care and just being around people with age that you can't get anywhere else.
And probably like grows you up a little
Oh, it ages. I mean,
Yeah.
it ages you. I mean,
bit. Yeah, that's so true.
When you're a 20-year-old, when you're a 21, 22, 23-year-old, counseling 50, 60, 70-year-olds on how to handle their parents who are, debilitated, they're recovering, they're not well, they're old and passing, that they're in their final stages of life.
Yeah.
That ages you.
Yeah.
I mean, and this is something that I know that we've talked about too as well, that like I have a very old sound. Like I don't sound like I'm as old as I am. I sound old.
Yeah.
Right?
Me too.
Yeah, you too.
We have that in common.
Yeah, and I think you've got a little bit of that past experience too, which I really think that's where it comes from.
Yeah.
Is 'cause that's like one of the few things that we have in common in terms of our background. That I have to think that's it. That spending time around older people and getting those experiences and getting those experiences of being around older people under your belt at a very early age forces you to grow up and age and kind of understand the way things work the way things work in other age groups and generations. Not where it's like, oh yeah, this is how 30-year-olds or like talk and what they think about and how they deal with things. It's like, no, this is how like retired like baby boomers, golden age, like you know, 50, 60, 70-year-olds live.
It's like you're looking into the past.
Yeah, and there's so much you can learn from old people too.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, like old people, like the elderly generation has so much that we can learn from them. I mean, getting things done. I mean, can you imagine trying to operate now where there's no internet? Like that's the first thing. Can you imagine trying to operate in a world where there's no internet? The only thing you can do is send letters, advertise in like via paper media and radio waves, and sound waves.
So much more effort is required.
Oh, I have so much respect for people who are able to build a business in the 50s and 60s and 70s.
Yeah.
That and really build a business. Not like, oh yeah, no, we had a mom and pop shop and it's which there's nothing wrong with mom and pop shops. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. And it can, you can have a one person business and be incredibly successful and be incredibly happy. So that's don't hear me downplaying that, but like building a business in the 50s, 60s, 70s that is either still around today or you've grown it to the point where it's sustainable and its own living, breathing monster. I mean, how difficult it must have been back then and to now if for businesses that are still around now. I mean, I can't imagine what that would be like, and especially now with the coronavirus. I mean, that's the amount of evolution that we've seen in businesses over the past 50, 60, 70 years has just been unbelievable.
It's progressively gotten easier. People ask me that all the time on my channel. They're like, hey, is now a good time to start? Like, is it too late? And
No, it's never too late.
Every single time I get that question, I say the same exact thing, and it applies perfectly. I say, now is the best time. Meaning that right now, currently, as I'm answering this question, it's a better time to start than 6 months ago when I answered that same question.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, it kind of comes back to what we were talking about before, right? Well, actually, let me unpack that a little bit more. What we were talking about before, it's having the ability to get things done, right? So if you have the ability to get things done, right now is a great time to be able to start something, build something. I mean, the world is on fire. If you have the ability to provide any amount of support, need, fulfill people's wants, it's a great time. It's a great time if you can do it. If you can do it effectively and you know what you're doing and you're paying attention to the right things you need to pay attention to and you're doing your due diligence, now's an incredible time. It's the best time ever to be alive and start a business, which I know is the craziest thing to hear with unemployment at all-time highs and massive businesses like Victoria's Secret, Forever 21, so many companies that are filing for bankruptcy.
Yeah.
I mean, I read something the other day that Starbucks is permanently closing over 400. It's either 400 or 1,200 stores permanently. Like,
really?
Yeah. Zara is.
Wait, why Starbucks? I feel like they're doing fine.
They're not compared to how they were.
Really?
Well, I mean,
where are people going now? Like these new hipster coffee shops or what?
A little bit of that, a little bit of being forced to do things differently. I mean,
wow.
So one of the things that we've been talking about at work a lot recently is how fortunate we are that our business is growing and scaling profitably and sustainably in this market. I mean, it's the entire e-commerce sector is like flourishing, right?
Yeah. Well, people are getting all this money.
Yeah.
Because I got the stimulus check. I didn't even apply for it. I don't there's plenty of people that need it more than I do for sure, but I still got it. I'm sure other people got it too.
I didn't. I know you didn't qualify for it, so I don't know how you got it.
I went to the website and I was like, they're like, all right, you want to get your stimulus check, so you have to like, how much did you make? And like there was a bar that you can drag, and then I dragged it to the end, and it was like 78,000. If you made more, then you don't qualify. I was like, all right, exit. Like I was like, I don't qualify. I still got it in the mail. I got two. I got a total of like $4,300 from the U.S. government.
There's gonna be someone listening to this that's gonna go, how the hell did you do that?
No, that's personally my business is. I got SBA.
You got oh nice.
SBA loans,
did you go PPP or did you get SBA?
SBA.
Nice.
I got the SBA grant and I got a very, very nice chunk of an SBA loan.
Nice.
Yeah, and I'm just going to use that to continue growth.
Nice.
Yeah, I don't know how I got approved for that, but it was a very nice chunk of money.
Oh, dude, no one in our government knows anything about what's going on right now.
I'm sure you guys could get approved too. I don't know if you guys did or if you want to disclose any of that, but I could easily send you a link. And it's ridiculous how fast they send it out. I got applied, I got accepted. 2 days later, I got the wire. And we're not talking like 10 grand here, like much, much more. Yeah, 2 days later, I got a wire, and it was available. Yeah, like
that's insane.
Yeah, and the thing is, interest rate's 3.75.
It's lower than mortgage rates.
Yeah, so
that's like a mortgage.
Yeah, quite literally.
Incredible.
No payments for 12 months, and it's a 30-year loan. It's quite literally a mortgage.
That's incredible.
So if you found a way, there are terms in the loan.
Of
and
course.
I will read the loan again. I did read it, but I will read the loan agreement again. I'm sure you could find ways to use that money otherwise, but I was like, dude, it would almost be stupid. Like you could just buy that and put it in the stock market right now in anything. Right. Quite like Delta, Boeing's, airline companies, whatever.
I mean, dude, the entire market tanked tanked yesterday again, which it's going to be a really interesting thing going forward to watch what happens in the next couple weeks, because a lot of people have been saying that there is a second crash coming, and
I hope so.
Yeah.
So I mean, sorry to everyone, but like,
yeah,
I like shopping at a discount.
Well, and here's the other thing: it's times like this and the economy that we've had for the past like fucking decade. I mean, we've really needed something to come in and just
correct it all. Yeah.
Yeah, correct it all. I mean, there's so many. I mean this in the nicest way possible, but there's so many bullshit businesses that are out there that they haven't been built on anything. There's no real infrastructure. There's no real anything to it. That they're there and they've been flourishing because in this environment, the last like 10 years, a lot of things can. But now, like I'm gonna sound like a lot of older people real quick, but this next like 6 to 12 months is also going to be a time where existing businesses, if you're a real badass and you really know what you're doing, like businesses can have just the most incredible pivot right now. I mean, traditional non-e-commerce businesses or people who are like they've had a business for 3 to 5 years and now everything's changed. This is the greatest. We keep saying it. It's the greatest time to be starting or trying to start a business because as much turmoil as there is, and I know that that's going to be something that people go, whoa, this is like the world's on fire. What are you saying? When the world's on fire, it's the best time to be selling buckets.
Yeah.
I mean, which that's not me saying, oh, go sell masks. That's not what I'm saying, because it's like I know there's an incredible amount of opportunity out there. There's other people like Charlie Brandt.
Yeah.
If there's anyone that I think people could like,
he's a wizard.
Charlie is a goddamn wizard.
I don't know how he does it.
I don't either. He's
like a robot. He's like robotic in the only sense that whatever, like in an AI, like if you try to get an AI to learn how to do something and then you tell it to do that and it just will keep doing it over and over and over
and
over
it does
again.
it perfectly.
And it does it perfectly. And it doesn't stop and it doesn't get unmotivated. That's Charlie.
Yeah. Charlie, big blessing meeting him last year. Really cool guy to meet.
Yeah.
Really cool guy to meet. So I was gonna say, hopefully you have him on at some point.
I should. He would totally be down. I'd fly him out here for that.
Dude, I think he's still here. He
moved to Cali. No?
He did, but he came back when all the coronavirus stuff happened.
You're right, but he was being very careful. We were going to hang out, but he was with his mom, and his mom's a little older. So
yeah, his mom's also in the health. I want to say she's also a nurse too. So it's like she sees.
Oh,
everything.
okay.
Yeah. So I think that was big because she was like, "No, you're not going anywhere."
Maybe I'll have him on next. I'm totally down for that.
Should have him on next.
Yeah.
Be way better. Full disclosure, he's going to be way better than me.
No way, bro. Everybody is perfect in their own way.
Fair.
Everybody has something that's perfect to offer. But once this Airbnb is done, my Airbnb is about 5 minutes north of this. So
really,
yeah, I mean, I'm gonna have this whole system going. I'm gonna be like, yo, I'll fly you out here. You can stay at my place for free.
That's perfect.
Dude, you should see this fucking place. It is nuts.
Are you done with the renos?
Oh no, not yet. But we are. After this, I'm going over there, and we're gonna be working. We're gonna do shower floors today. But this place is nuts. 21-foot ceilings, windows everywhere. There's a massive fireplace in the living room, and I just bought all the tiles yesterday. So I have 4-foot by 2-foot satin concrete tiles. It's like literally concrete, like super great. I'll show you a picture after this.
Yeah.
And we're going.
Dude, if it's 5 minutes from now, I just want to see it.
Okay. Yeah, we can go. Yeah, we'll go after.
Yeah.
We're going all the way to the ceiling with this tile. So I'm just gonna have a massive concrete fireplace like in the house. It's so sick.
That's gonna look good.
Yeah. It's kind of like, so I've been kind of dumb about this. When I have too much money, like I need to find things to spend it on. Like you remember my bike that I was building.
Are you still building that?
Yeah. It's
I still need to see that.
Bro.
Oh, dude, yeah. It's way
so hot.
too hot.
I can't. And I'm at a point I have to weld something. I don't know how to weld. I was going to tell myself I was going to learn, but I don't want to be going on a 2-wheel vehicle with, and I welded it together, and it's like, I'm not entirely, I would want.
No, I'm going to say you should probably professionally get that.
Right. I'm just, out of all things, I'll do everything else. Just that, let me just outsource. But yeah, so this house, it's like, okay, I bought it, and I was like super inspired. And I was like, okay, well.
Dude, congratulations, by the way. That's as young as you are, because you are young to be a homeowner. That's awesome.
I'm about to buy a second.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
Yeah. That's fucking awesome.
This one's like, okay, so I moved out of my lease, the place that I had, and I was like working.
The one where I could see into your kitchen window from where I was from where I lived.
We had binoculars. Like, hey, Tony. Yeah. But I was like building up money, and like anytime I have too much money, I need to spend it, invest it, do something with it. Yeah. So I had to
invest it, not spend. Not two separate things.
Spend. I did that once with the GTR.
There you go. Well, you tell me whether or not that was an investment or not.
That was an investment. Yes. So this house is no different. So I put a nice chunk down payment on, and then with all the renovations, it's going to come out to about $100,000 that I'm pulling out of my account to get this place up and running. But
I mean, I'm sure it's a positive ROI, so that's awesome.
Yeah, it will be. I mean, because the thing about it is we're going to do Airbnb throughout it. So it's right up here by Kierland. It's 5 minutes from Kierland. We have waste management. We have Barrett Jackson.
Oh, it's perfect.
And not to mention the ceilings are 21 feet tall. So it's like, you don't find that.
Did you keep that cool thing in there that you told me about that you said you were gonna do that I'm not gonna unveil on your podcast? The thing in the air.
Yeah. So.
Oh yeah, that's awesome.
I don't have that yet. I'm gonna wait a little bit because I think it's a hazard.
Oh, it's absolutely a hazard.
Absolutely a hazard.
It's absolutely a hazard, but it's a super cool point.
Right, yeah. I'm going to hold off. It's not expensive, but I'm going to hold off on that until everything else is done because I want to get the priorities done first. I want to get it up and running and cash flow positive before I do anything crazy like that. So, but I think during Barrett Jackson, during waste management, we can easily charge like $500 a night for this place and get away with it. So, absolutely. And my mortgage is my mortgage is like $1,500.
Oh yeah.
So,
dude, that's killer.
Yeah.
Dude, congratulations on your first Airbnb like that.
I'm actually thinking about starting a hedge fund with Airbnbs because I have a lot of friends that have a lot of money. How interesting would it be if people like just had a lot of money and they wanted to invest in real estate but they had no idea? And if I had like, let's say I got to 5 Airbnbs that were all very profitable, and this was my business idea was to buy a house in bad condition at a discount, to renovate it, force equity, immediately be profitable, immediately have profitable gains in the house, and then to Airbnb it out. Because it's like a lot of people on Airbnb, this is the thing, is like a lot of people are older because not everybody can just afford a place. And the younger people don't have money. So what they do is they do Airbnb arbitrage, which is where they lease a place out and then Airbnb it out.
Right.
So, but that's bad because first of all, you're inviting another person to the party. You're inviting another party that takes money. Everybody has to get paid. Also, there's more liability on you because if you're renting the place. So if somebody that rents your Airbnb, let's say, does something, you're still liable for it, if that makes sense. Yeah, so it's a lot different when you purchase the property, not to mention that you get the forced appreciation when you do the renovations, and it's constantly appreciating, and you pay down the mortgage. So
you're winning all the way around.
Yeah, exactly. So I was thinking if we take this side of things, because we have money, and I have young friends with money, a lot of money, and they don't know what to do with it. I was like, hey, why don't I just make a pool of like $5 million and just buy houses throughout the valley, all over the place?
Oh, dude, out here, I mean, this is my uneducated opinion of someone, or coming from someone who's done a little bit of real estate. Dude, out here, it just,
yeah, you can't.
It's such a hot market,
yeah,
dude.
you can't lose.
I mean, there's only like 3 months out of the year where people don't want to be here.
Literally, yeah. So I thought it was an interesting idea because then it helps people, my friends that have money, it helps them get into real estate, and I have like a little hedge fund kind of.
Yeah, well, and the other piece with that is you're also seriously diversifying your income, because a lot of people our age that kind of come into a little bit of money. It's like, for example, like my partner and I, or a couple of my partners and I, we ended up getting into the stock market. That's fun. It's a cool time to be in the stock market, right? It's like like all the Robin Hood traders and that kind of thing. But like in all reality, we're not that diversified, right? Because we're still in the stock market. I mean, the stock market takes a dunk. You're still like, you're in the stock market. You're taking a dunk with it, right?
Yeah.
But like that's a cool thing, because you're helping your friends, young friends who've actually done something and have the ability to, like, realistically probably should start investing. Because I mean, like, we're, you know how it goes. We're young, make a little bit of money. Now you want to go do something with it, right? Like you want to. It's a totally normal, and almost everyone that ever like has some level of early success is going to do this. So it isn't something that like starting from the semi-successful entrepreneurs up to people who have like had some serious exits, like people who've sold companies for 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 million dollars. The first time where you really make some money, you're guaranteed to blow it. You're guaranteed to blow it. I don't know how to not scare people with that, but that's just like, it's like, dude, hey, congratulations. You got your first like $15,000 paycheck or $50,000 check from buying and selling something, or like, hey, congratulations, you've got $85,000 or $150,000 dollars in equity in a house or something like that. What do I do with it now? Mm-hmm. Most kids our age go like, oh shit, fuck yeah, I'm gonna go buy a car, I'm gonna go buy a watch, or I'm gonna go buy something. Like, honestly,
do it. Just be careful.
Yeah,
because you can't get around it.
Yeah, it's gonna happen.
But I feel actually, going back to Charlie, I feel like he's probably the only person.
He bought a car.
He just now bought a car.
No,
bro, Charlie has been making money for a long time,
and serious money.
Yeah,
not like $500 a day. He is. For those of you who are wondering, Charlie does not make $500 a day dropshipping.
He does not. He's one of those guys.
Go check him out on Instagram. It's the Charlie Brand. He's a killer. He's one of absolute assassin.
Those people that like you talk about that like are low key, but he does have a personal brand, but just to make more money. But he's one of those low key people.
He's a money making monster.
He's just like Charlie is profitable as a human. Like everything he does.
Can I invest in Charlie?
Yeah, literally. I'm Charlie. Just take this money. Do something.
Charlie, go public so we can invest in you.
Oh my god.
That's the kind of thing though. You know, it's like you're gonna end up doing it. So it isn't like where I'm trying to help people with that is, it's like, hey, it's gonna happen. So know that when you make a little bit of money, like budget yourself for that a little bit, right? Because it's like, hey, if you know, it's like if your entire life you've made like 25 to 35,000 a year, which, you know, if you're 18 to 25 years old, that's sounds relatively accurate for where you might be in like a regular day job. I don't know these things. I haven't been in the traditional job market forever.
Yeah.
But like the first time you get you make a $50,000 paycheck or even a $10,000 paycheck, let's just go with that, right?
Yeah.
I mean, for most people, that's life changing.
Oh, yeah.
I can actually say this because because every 35 to 45 days we hand someone a check for $10,000, $5 to $10 to $15,000, right?
Uh-huh.
And that moment is the coolest moment ever, because in that moment, you can tell that they've never, it is the most unique thing that has ever happened to them in their entire life. Mm. And in that moment, they won the lottery. And it's the coolest thing it's the coolest thing you could ever see and experience. I mean that. It is, so what, like one of my partners, Derek, he, one of the original owners, he said that is really one of his favorite things to do. And like when I was like looking at the business, I was like, oh, okay, cool. I showed up to one of the winter pickups and I was like, oh, this is really cool. Mm. I knew what he meant, that it's an experience that changes your life. But now that I get to do that like pretty regularly, it's seeing that kind of experience happen for someone is just one of the coolest things ever.
Yeah.
I mean, because it's like,
it's kind of like reliving it for the first time, though.
it is. Well,
Like-
because it's you're literally reliving it for the first time because it is someone's first time winning something.
Yeah.
Because I mean, for most of us in this life, we're never gonna win something. All right, you're not gonna like win the Powerball for $600 million, take $450 million right out the gate and be done for life. Right, like that. It's nice. That's the idea that a lot of people enter that with and hope they win. Right.
Yeah.
That doesn't happen to that. It happens to one person or it happens
So
to
rare.
5 people.
Yeah,
right. I mean,
so
it's
rare.
like it's so rare.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, but that moment's really cool.
I was
That
saying
moment's
like,
really cool.
so some people would ask me, Bobby, you can, if you want to turn the video off and on again, we're almost there again. When I got my GTR, it was super thrilling to ride in it.
Ooh,
and then
have you told us you getting your? I've never heard you getting your GTR story before, so I don't know if you've ever told this. Well, I'm sure you've told this before.
I don't think so. I'll tell it. It's a quick story,
Yeah,
but
it's a cool story.
obviously it's been my dream car. So when I got it, I was super thrilled to drive it and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then you get used to it, like any car. You get used to any car you drive. So people would ask me once in a while, like when they got on for the first time, they're like, "Dude, are you used to this?" Like, I'm like, "Yeah, it's just a car. It's just a car. Honestly,
Right.
at this point, it's whatever. I'm used to the
Yeah,
speed.
it's a fast car, but it's just a car.
It's just a car, yeah." But for them, it's a whole different thing. For them, it's like what it was for me when I first got it. So I actually enjoy giving people rides because they freak out when I like step on it because it's so fast and they don't experience it. And then I share that experience and it's like, oh yeah, that's kind of what it was like for me too. They're just like freaking out, like, holy shit, this thing is fast. And I'm like, yeah, it is. It is pretty fast.
Yeah.
You're not wrong. It's a quick car.
Yeah, it's fun getting to relive that experience with somebody.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I'm gonna have to do that in a McLaren.
Yeah, you are. Yeah, you are.
But I got to make smart choices.
Yeah, well, I mean, feels like to date you've made some pretty smart choices
So far. On the internet.
You don't have to. No one's saying 100%.
Yeah. I've definitely made some mistakes.
I
We
mean,
all have.
well, exactly, and that's the other thing that I feel like, real quick, I just kind of want to touch on that. So, because mistakes are one of those things that are going to happen to absolutely everybody. I mean, it's kind of one of the basis of like firefighting all the time, right? It's the idea that it's like no one ever knows the perfect way to get things done and executes it that way. It's I have a very, very educated idea of how I think things should be done to be the most effective way, or to get things done the most effective way, right? Mm-hmm. And sometimes, hopefully, everything goes according to plan, and like an execution of a plan goes 95% of the way, right? Because I mean, you tell me, how many plans have you ever had that go 100% according to plan?
Always changes.
Yeah, I've never had a plan go 100% according to plan. It
Yeah.
just doesn't work that way.
Yeah, it doesn't. The most unexpected things change it too. I saw a tweet from someone that runs an agency, and they spent $1 billion for their clients on the internet.
Oh, that's crazy.
And he said one of his biggest pieces of advice for like marketing and marketers was that the best ideas are completely random. He said some of their most profitable campaigns came from workers in the company that had nothing to do with marketing, just like average people that were like,
that
hey.
happened to us.
Yeah. You're like, hey, this would be a good idea. And like, at first you dismiss it. You're like, what the fuck do you know? Like we spend money. We're doing marketing. And it's like you work in customer service, but don't dismiss anyone. It's the most random things.
Okay, so our best promo ever, like arguably one of the promos that changed Ride Clutch's like trajectory came from our customer service rep.
There you go. I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
Crazy, huh?
Yeah, and I make it a point to give her that credit too, because this was early on when we were like in our first couple giveaways this calendar year, that we were still kind of experimenting, trying to like find our groove and kind of see what other people are doing and see what works and that kind of thing. Mm-hmm. And she sent me an ad that another company did, and I was like, huh, that's interesting. Like it's actually the giveaway or the promo that we're running right now, which is a prize in every order. One of the biggest players in our space, Diesel Power Gear, they give away trucks. They got a show on the Discovery Channel. They are the big leagues. The big leagues. There's no one else as big as them that does things the way that they do. I mean, they're bulletproof. They're just bulletproof. I mean, one of like their CEO is like has cameos and ads for Nikola.
Wow.
Yeah, like he's helping like push the Badger type thing.
Holy crap.
Yeah, and that's what, so she saw like an ad from, I want to say it was them, where they're giving away a bunch of prizes, and she was like, "Hey, what do you think about this?" And I'm like, "I don't know. That might work. That's kind of interesting. I mean, if they're doing it, it's gotta run decently well for one of the biggest players to be running this pretty consistently, and for them to say it's one of their fan favorites, right?"
Yeah.
Come to find out, it was the best promo we had ever ran.
Yeah.
And it didn't come from me, it didn't come from Zach, and it didn't come from Derek, and it was incredible.
Yeah, just a suggestion.
Yeah.
That's crazy how that works.
Yeah.
But it's a good lesson to never like just dismiss anyone. You always got to try new things. That's really the key, though, in business. If we're going to continue talking about it, it's to try everything,
dude.
Everything.
One more layer above that. One more layer above that is being willing to try things and not being afraid of failure. Because, like, okay, so let's unpack that real quick. Failure. If you got an F in school, what did that mean?
You failed.
Right. What does that like? What does failing in school mean? It means that
you're stupid or something.
Yeah, right.
You don't know.
Exactly. So we've been literally as a society conditioned to believe that failure is a bad thing. From because what like if we get an A, we get rewarded, and if we get an F, it's horrible,
you get
right?
Punished.
Yeah, you get punished. You have to retake the class or whatever, things like that, right?
Wow. Yeah.
Where else does it work like that? Where else does it work where if you fail, the only repercussion is starting over? Okay, I need to watch the words with that, because failing is one of the few things that I attribute almost everything I've ever done to. Because if you've never failed at anything, you've never tried anything. And if you've never tried anything, you'll never get anywhere.
Yeah. I've also learned that you learn more from failure than you do from success.
Oh my God. So that's the most important lesson anyone could ever remember about success. You learn way more from your failures than you do from your successes.
Yeah, because if something's working, you don't necessarily know why. But if something doesn't work, you just know it doesn't work.
Right. Well, and then more importantly, like I use a sports analogy for this. Problems get covered up in a winning locker room, right? If everything's going well, you're going to ignore the problems. You're just going to make everything okay. Like, dude, we're netting $100,000 a month, you're not going to try and clean up your house, right? You're not going to worry about what problems are brewing. Everything's good. Yeah. Let it ride, right? Not saying that's what you should do. You should always be trying to problem solve and clean, and like you should perpetually strive to be a cleaner for your business. Uh-huh. And what do I mean by that real quick? Cleaning in your business means whatever isn't done is getting done. And whatever it is that you need to do, you do. And because, once again, my mantra, if you get things done, you're going to win a lot.
Yeah.
If you get things done, you are going to win a lot in this life.
Yeah. So you should really be excited for failure.
You should. We need to change the way we look at failure, because failure does not imply that, oh, you lost. Failure implies that you have an opportunity to learn something, and that if you learn something, that failure could lead to a really big win later.
Wow. I have never thought about it like that. That's life-changing.
It is.
For real.
That changed my life.
Yeah.
I mean, we've had this conversation, which I don't know if you want me to go into that, of my experience in Montana. That's life-changing.
Yeah, I remember you told me about it. Dude, and the thing is, so to just talk about that story, not to get into details, but I used to think, I had this problem where I thought that everybody was always winning, probably because of social media.
Oh, 100% because of social media.
Yeah, and I felt like I had to always be winning. So when I failed, I was like, dude, like, I'm so dumb. Like, I can't, like, everybody's so smart. You know, like, people like Charlie just figure it out. You know, people like Tony just figure it out.
People like Charlie are machines.
Not human.
Charlie, you are a machine. You're not human.
Not human at all. But I'm happy that you brought that up to my attention, because I've failed too. I've had some big losses, and your loss, like, I'm comparing, you know what I'm talking about, and I know what you're talking about, and yours was much bigger than mine, but mine was still big for me at the time. It was still a fat loss. Yeah.
Oh, and more importantly, that was probably a loss that you're never gonna forget.
That was life changing. Yeah. So, and it was over the dumbest thing. I didn't read an email, and I lost that big because I just didn't respond to an email. I should have, but very expensive lesson for me. Very expensive lesson.
Right.
But I did learn. I did learn from that, and now that when you told me that story of your loss, I was like, okay, even super smart people like Tony, even people that like figure things out and get it done like Tony, still have losses. So I'm like, okay, I don't need to always win. Like
no.
Yeah.
Well, the more important. There's so much about what you just said that I think people really need to hold on to. No one wins 100% of the time. Nobody wins 100% of the time. I don't care who it is. Anyone that tells you there's someone who's just undefeated, they are lying to you. Okay, well, because it's like, because what are you basing that off of, right? It's like let's see. Okay, in business, right? Let's just look at someone's. Let's look at Jeff Bezos. Jeff Bezos is someone that a lot of people could probably say, wow, that guy's probably one of the most winningest individuals over the course of human history. He's the wealthiest person in human history right now, right? Obviously, you can make the claim that like, oh, Rockefeller's like had way more money, et cetera, et cetera.
Whatever.
In this moment, Jeff Bezos is likely one of the, if not the wealthiest person in the world, probably one of the most wealthiest people in the world.
Amazon's $1 trillion company.
And he owns a lot.
Yeah, he's a big owner.
He's a big owner. He got divorced and lost half of his net worth.
That's a fat loss.
Fat loss.
That makes my loss look puny.
He's the biggest winner in the world, and he's had the biggest loss in the world.
Yeah, wow.
Let's think about that.
Yeah.
Think about that.
Yeah, wow.
He lost billions of dollars, tens of billions of dollars because his wife divorced him.
Yeah. So it was like his wife took like 46 billion, right?
Oh my God.
Half, like 50 billion, like half of 100.
Look at how much that's worth now.
Yeah. Oh my goodness, even more.
Think about that.
To think that her net worth. Well, she became the richest woman in the world
by divorcing him. She became the 7th wealthiest person in the world by divorcing Jeff Bezos.
Taking him. Taking. Oh my God.
Yeah. Let that sink in.
She has more money than like hundreds of millions of Americans combined. That's a fat loss.
Combined.
That's a fat loss.
Yeah, but that's what I'm getting at. Is part of success, and I'm not saying that I've had a massive amount of success because where I'm going, I think I'm going to see a lot of success because I feel very good about where the trajectory that we're on, the team that I have around me, and the skill set that we've been able to the skill sets we've been able to develop. I think for a lot of people, that kind of winning has to be taken. You have to be able to take your wins with your losses. If you can take a big win, but you can't take a big loss, at the end of the day, it's going to be really, really tough to withstand what happens in like the career of an entrepreneur. I mean, how many times I'm trying to decide how like deep I want to go with this because we go real deep with this, but it's like an existential level. But like in the world of entrepreneurship, if you can't handle the losses that will inevitably come with trying to grow something and putting in your all and putting in all your time and energy and love into something, that it could and likely will crumble to the ground at some point in your life. If you can't handle that idea, it is totally okay to go get a career and go work for someone because
it's a lot.
It's a lot. I mean, you've got this thing behind Bobby over here that says 97% of people who quit are employed by 3% that never gave up. Yeah. That's not a 50-50 thing. It's not 50-50. I mean, think about that. How many businesses go out? How many businesses, especially now, go out of business?
Yeah.
It just ceased to exist.
Yeah. Dude, more about the losses. I am bringing Elon Musk up again, but with SpaceX,
he hasn't had a loss.
Dude,
Elon Musk has not had a loss.
Elon has had the most losses.
Yes.
The most, and he will be the richest person in the world in the next 20 years.
He could.
Unless
Jeff Bezos continues on his trajectory because he has something.
I think Amazon right now is greed. I think the value of Amazon is purely greed. It's almost doubled in price. Has it doubled in revenue? And if so, will it continue to maintain that revenue for the next 10 years? If not, then it's not worth the value that it's currently at. One. But on Elon Musk, his SpaceX company, they had a budget for 4 rocket launches, right? And because who knew it's expensive to launch a rocket.
Right.
So
oh, what? Yeah, are you saying I couldn't just go have a ride clutch rocket? Yeah. Is that what you're telling me?
It costs a couple mil. So
a couple mil. That's it.
He launched 3 of them, and they failed, blew up, and on the 4th one, I remember this. They were launching, it was Falcon 9, the orbital booster, and like in that moment of that company's history, they were like, okay, if this launch doesn't go right, that's it. We're closing. That's the end of SpaceX. And that was...
And it came... Oh, my God.
It was 2007, 2000, maybe 2012. Almost about 10 years ago, I think. I'm pretty sure it was a long time ago. But the 4th one made it, and it was successful. But to think about how close they were, and now where they're at now, developing Starship, and Starship is like going to be so profitable anywhere in the world in 40 minutes.
Yeah, I mean...
To the moon and back, like...
Elon Musk is the perfect example of someone who he dedicated everything he ever made to his visions.
Yeah.
When he sold PayPal, I feel like every entrepreneur has seen this, that post of Elon Musk made $100 million, and as soon as he got that $100 million check or whatever it was, he dumped all of it back into Tesla and SpaceX.
Yeah, literally.
And like, if you're not willing to do that as an entrepreneur, starting out, if you don't have that level of like conviction and dedication to getting things done and just making things happen, it's
go home.
Good luck. Yeah, go home. Yeah. Save yourself.
Yeah.
Save yourself the time, the anguish, the money potentially, and go do something else.
Yeah. True. Tesla nearly went bankrupt too. And now, I mean, Tesla's trading at $1,400 a share. Ford's trading at like $5.
And splitting for a 5-for-1.
They are? Wait, what do you mean?
Oh, you didn't hear that? Tesla's up 8% last night, or 8 or 10%. Because it topped out at $14.90. They're doing a 5-for-1 stock split.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so it's gonna go back. It's gonna go up even higher.
Dude, I'm about to buy some.
I did.
What the heck?
Dude, Tesla's gonna be the next Apple. I think it's. I mean, Apple's
for
had
cars.
Yeah, but well, from a business perspective, it's gonna be a stock that's gonna have splits. I don't think Tesla's going anywhere for a long time.
Yeah.
I mean, they're already having a 5-for-1 stock split. You have to. They're incredible. They're probably up like 1,000 points on the year.
Yeah, probably.
Something like that.
Something stupid.
Wait, is that the number? 1,000 points on the year. Is that 1558 right now? Dude, it was at 1490 last night.
Yeah.
Like what, 12 hours ago? What time is it? Yeah, literally like this time last night it was at like 1490.
Oh my goodness.
Stupid.
Should have bought some calls.
Oh,
do you I wanted to bring this up but I forgot. Did you know that in like 1960, I don't know if this is right or not, but electric cars were a thing. They were invented, and I think 60% of all the vehicles on the road were electric in like 1960. Did you know that? And then it it failed, and it went back to motor.
I wonder how much of that was just big oil and internal combustion money that just pushed it out of the way. Because dude, that was a time frame where it could, and Ford.
Yeah, well,
Ford, GM.
The technology back then was a lot different. So it's like it did not make sense to own an electric car like it does now.
30,000 AAA batteries to.
What the heck?
30,000 AAA batteries to go to Fry's and back.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, it didn't make sense. So I guess, but that was surprising that 60% or above 50%.
That's
of cars,
crazy.
I think were completely electric.
I mean, give it time, we'll get back there.
Yeah, I know it'll happen, dude. I can't. Dude, I was thinking about this the other day. I was like, everything is changing so fast now.
Oh,
so
dude,
like,
things change at light speed.
I think I heard this from Scott Hilsey's podcast. He said information, like just information, publicly available doubles every like 7 months.
I believe that.
That's exponential growth.
Yeah, I believe that.
Blowing me away. But I was thinking about this the other day, and it's like we're right now, like 2015 and higher, are finally starting to like really like we're starting to really like wonder who we are like as humans.
Yeah.
We're like hold on, okay, like let's put like the brakes on this. Like we started out fighting, and that was not long ago, a couple hundred years. In like medieval fighting, like super weird
swords.
Yeah, like weird fighting.
Armor.
Yeah, and that was not
like wearing a bucket, like wearing a bucket with cutouts on your head. Type shit.
Going to war, like super primal, super like, and that's just comes from evolution, and that's the way we behaved. To like going into more modern war, and now less war, and like we're calming down. We're like, all right, hold on, like who the fuck are we? Like, where are we right now? Like,
right.
what are we doing?
We're really searching for awareness, for self-awareness right now.
Yeah.
As a people, as an organism, we're looking real hard for self-awareness right now.
Yeah.
I mean, as much as people are trying to think about who they are, think about where they're going, as much as trending as like personal development stuff is, I mean, we've never looked this hard into who we are as people and what the what.
I think it's just because it's become so easy to survive. Because as a species, the way we came to be over millions of years is survival. That was the number one instinct. So forever, when we were like single-celled and then multi-celled for millions and millions of years, forever it's always just been about survival. And even like go back 1,000 years, it was still about survival. And people were just like barely starting to ask questions and still worried about like food. Like my parents didn't even have a fridge when they lived in Romania. Like that's and
crazy
my
to think
parents,
about.
my parents.
Right, that's crazy to think
super
about.
crazy. So it's like now is such a weird time because now it's like we've optimized survival so well that we don't even have to think about it whatsoever. That's all we know because it's super easy. Like we don't have to worry about it. At least in first world countries.
Yeah.
This is what I'm talking about.
No, obviously, context being here.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Because it's like here in the U.S. or first world countries, like most European countries now, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's life is. I mean, the fact that we're even having the conversations that we are of like, it's about building a business. The fact that survival, we're not in survival mode as an animal, right?
Yeah.
We've developed so far past that it's like the things that we complain about, and it's comical.
Doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hold on, let me check the camera because I just heard a question. We could wrap down in like 10 minutes.
Cool.
Because I know we're both super busy.
Yeah.
Okay. Quick little recess. So I always found that interesting, and then I was thinking about consciousness, and we've only discovered consciousness, 4,000 years ago, 5,000 years ago. No, way before then. Hold on, I really just gotta know this real quick. When did humans become conscious? I'm so bad at spelling.
You got it right. How did consciousness evolve?
Here we go.
Some philosophical shit right here.
Dude, dang. When did this is not what I'm looking for. When did we?
It's funny. This is literally just us hanging out and.
Dude, that's what I want. That's what I want. Like all these podcasts to be.
Yeah.
The what, the why, and the how. It doesn't seem like they have a time frame. I think it's a few thousand years ago. I heard that somewhere, or I read that somewhere. I
believe it. I mean, it has to have the right set of circumstances for us to be able to, for that to even come about.
Recent,
right?
Yeah, it's just super recent, and the universe is 13.8 billion years old. That's how long. So think about, dude. It's impossible to think about it, but like just so recently, everything that exists in our lives just happened. Yeah. Just right. We just woke up.
Yeah, if today was like a day, we existed in your snap.
Literally. Yeah. So I think that's amazing. I think about that often, but the reason I'm even bringing this up is because I feel like people don't think about it enough. So if you think about that and you try to grasp it, I think that'll help you like appreciate life a little bit more, because you're like, holy shit, like this all just happened. Like this gravity was discovered like 200 years ago. Yeah. This all just
something
happened.
Fell on somebody.
Yeah. Or I think somewhere, I don't know if it was his head or like next to him or whatever, Isaac Newton, but but I'm super excited for the future.
Oh yeah.
I'm super excited. We will find a way to live longer for sure. We will
absolutely
be able to do that. And I don't know if I'd want to do that, but I'm super excited. Like what if this has happened before? You know what I'm saying? It's totally possible.
Simulation.
Dude, I was going to ask you. So we should get I can't say that on the podcast. I'm not going to say that, but we should talk about simulation one day, because I'm believing that idea more and more every day, because I've been studying quantum mechanics, and at the tiniest level, everything is probabilistic.
Come by the house. Let's come by the house. Let's have this talk.
We'll have a talk. It's not podcast appropriate, but We'll go for 10 more minutes. We'll go to an hour and a half.
Okay.
And then we'll cut it off there. But
Sounds
I don't know
good.
why. I've been thinking about consciousness a lot lately, so I thought I'd bring it up to Tony.
Yeah, it's an interesting thing, though, right? Well, okay. How about this? What's a question that you think would be? What's a question you think I'd have an interesting answer for? I want to try and give you some stuff here.
Okay. A question. Okay, so and let me apologize because I'm thinking about this on the spot.
No, you're good.
I'm not going to have the best question I can.
No, it's fine. It's something we're hanging out. we're having a great time, and I just want to make sure that because I bounced around so many times when you're asking me like the regular questions that I want to make sure I want to give some focused answer to some of the questions that maybe some people are asking or something that you think would be interesting for people.
Okay. Let me think. A good question.
How about this? Business, life, or pick a topic and we'll go from there.
Okay.
Business or life?
Business or life. Let's do... I have trouble making decisions. Let's go ahead and do a life question.
Okay, life question.
Yeah.
What is it? Is it about friends, family, or like finding yourself or something like that?
Okay. Well, we talked about self-awareness and finding yourself.
Finding yourself. Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah. That's a tough one.
It's a very tough one.
Tony, how do you figure out who you are? That's my question.
Experiencing as many things as you can in as shortened time frame as you can. That doesn't mean go out and just do random things. It means whatever it is that you're thinking about doing right now, go do it. If it's something where it's like, hey, you know what? I want to paint. Go paint. If you want, like, you know what? I want to go driving. I want to go for a drive, or I want to go do something, or like I want to go try race car driving or racing. Mm-hmm. Go do it.
Yeah.
Or like, and then obviously there's going to be people who go, oh, I can't afford to do that. It isn't necessarily about what the activity is. It's about the idea of go do whatever it is that you're thinking about. Because if you don't, the only downside, if you want to look at it this way, to trying something and have it not turn out well is the potential loss, or is the potential financial loss. Because if that's the only thing that you have to lose, you have absolutely nothing to lose. Because, capital aside, because the experience that you get from it, I promise you, 99% of the time, the experience you get will far outweigh whatever financial loss it is that you incur trying something. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying it's like, oh, I want to try stock trading, and you go buy somehow work your way into $1 million of Amazon something, and then you lose $1 million. I'm not saying that. It's like, you know what? I want to go try. I've always wanted to go hiking, or I've always wanted to go on this hike, or I've always wanted to look at coding, or I've always wanted to take an online class, or I've always wanted to learn to do something.
Okay.
Go do it. Mm-hmm. The biggest thing that anyone could get, or that I could give anyone about finding themselves, is try things, do things. The only way that you're going to be able to find out if you do or don't like something is if you do it. Or if you find out if you're good at something or not, good or bad at something. It's the only way that you can really find yourself is by testing that. Expand your limits, broaden your horizons, if that's what you want to fucking call it. But you need to get out and do things. That's the only way you're ever going to find out.
I heavily agree with that. Yeah. I think that was a terrific answer. So cool. I think we can wrap it up there.
Cool. Well, hopefully you got some cool shit.
Yeah. Dude, I want to have you back.
Dude, I'm always down to come hang out with you. You know that.
Yeah, let's definitely hang out some more, and then we maybe like 6 months from now we can come back on.
Oh man, 6 months would be a fun update.
Maybe after we do our little collaboration, or maybe before, maybe right before. Who knows? Or maybe during. I don't know. Whatever. I'm down.
Yeah, I think there's gonna be some fun shit.
All right. Well, thank you for coming on the ImProper podcast, Tony.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
If you want to tell people where to find you, give shout outs to anything, go for it.
Sounds good. My name is Ride Clutch Tony on Instagram, Ride Clutch Tony on TikTok as well. You're not going to find a whole lot of stuff there. I don't post very often. I'm going to get better about that because that's something I do need to work on. Go check out our company. It's Ride Clutch. And go check out Sebastian's podcast, ImProper Podcast. He does some pretty cool shit too.
Cool.
So.
All right. Thank you, man.
Absolutely.
This
was fun.
Oh.
Dude, that was fun as shit.
You like that?
Yeah, dude.
We can do it more too.
We should. We
I
should.
want to.
Dude, just the random talks. I think